I was trying to hold my breath so damn long. Holy shit! Almost
So I guess
passed
we got to
out.
work out our audio issues.
I'm not an athlete like that anymore.
All I heard was farts and giggles and stuff falling around.
Dude, I was holding back the whole time, man. I was like, what the fuck, man?
All right. Well, welcome to our third episode of the Volta Chaos. And that was our third attempt at an intro, I guess, right, Johnny? But
yeah, but we have a very special guest with us.
Who looks like we got
we have
a cousin
Mr.
with us.
Tex Devenport, and I'll let you guys elaborate a little bit more on our association and our friendship with Mr. Tex Devenport over many, probably a couple decades, I would think. Tex,
can you hear us, Tex?
Yeah, I didn't know if I didn't know I was on yet or not. Yeah,
Yeah,
how's it going?
we're on the whole time.
Yeah, we're kind of still introducing you. Go ahead, D.
Hi, Texan.
Well, Tex Davenport, fucking introduce yourself, sir.
Michael Tex Devenport from Glacier, Washington for 34 years. Of course, grew up in Texas and went to Cali for a bit and been back and forth a lot, either chasing snow or dirt for the most part.
and Tex, I was kind of looking back at some of the interviews that you did with Standard Films and a couple of the other guys back in the day, and apparently you came from Texas and you thought, I'm going to go out near the West Coast and I want to learn how to go snowboarding, but I'm from Texas. Teach me what to do. And what happened, the guys in Baker said, hey, Tex, just point it down the hill and go fast and go off the cliff.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were... Luckily, I bumped into him in the backcountry at Baker before the season started, so actually ran into Farmer and Holly Poff and...
So you ran into the wrong crew.
No, I ran into the right crew because Craig Kelly was both with Farmer and Holly Poff. So
there you go. Well, Craig Kelly, what a great gentleman. Big praise to him. Farmer, he's kind of like you.
Well, hey, for a minute, Texan. Just so our fans out there, we crossed paths early days as professional snowboarders, and then John and I were talking, and when we started doing the dirt bike thing together a little bit, you were in the segment that we did in Canada. We've had a few, I think 2 to 3 Tex games along the way. One at your house and the other one.
Bubba's been to every Tex games except for the last one, which is like 8 or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Weren't you in? Yeah. There was a couple of the Crusty Demons movies that you went on a few trips with, I'm pretty sure.
You went out to the desert with us on some long tour we did.
We went to
Bluetooth.
San Felipe for Dana's truck race, and we had to fly. I had to fly around in that flying machine and get the shots with my buddy Andy McDonald.
You know what, Johnny, you weren't there.
I wasn't at that one. No.
We took fucking Pierce, right? Look,
yeah, Pierce.
Here's his ass up there on the wall.
Yeah, the highlighter.
Yeah, the highlighter.
Yeah.
And fucking Texas guy had a fucking hang glider with a motor on it, and we were racing. We were racing trucks out there with. And man, he got in the front of this fucking hang glider and pinned it, dude, in Mexico, and took off. And they were flying around. Tex was getting the shot, right, Texan?
We had to fly over across the water to the volcano and go around the volcano a couple of times first, and that was pretty sketch.
Is that the one you made me fly in Omac when I was? And it looked like it was like a dog dragging its ass with worms because it was so weighed down with me in the back of it.
Yeah,
I was filming the whole thing.
That
was at a Tex Games.
Games.
You're trying to film Seth.
You flew in that thing, bud? You flew in that?
I like that, but man, I can't fit in those things, man. That was scary.
You guys both got issues, dog. You guys both got issues.
But that had to be the same glider or the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same glider.
Yeah, I was trying to think of that, Tex. I knew there was a big tour that we went on and we mixed it up. That's right, man. I forgot all about that. Remember when we were talking about the helicopter in Canada? Every time we flew the bikes under the chopper, and the thing would shot out of you every time if I can put the chopper on.
Yeah, I don't know if the guys have the footage. If we can have our IT team put on maybe that footage of just hooking up from the chopper, pulling the bikes up in the net. But I remember that you got shocked like hell every time that you would hook that up. Maybe you don't remember that because you had too much electricity in your body.
I think I was enjoying the extra energy, I think, and kind of getting off on it.
There you are.
There's your Red Bull, huh? Yeah, I got it.
See that?
Yeah.
Tex?
Yeah.
That shit was bad. That stuff right there that you guys came up with,
pretty cool,
and flew it to a mountain no one's ever ridden a dirt bike on ever or ever will.
Yeah, no, that was a first ascent.
An old mining camp.
First ascent. Yeah.
I mean, they were dropping us off where we couldn't even ride to, kind of deal.
And you had Guy Parade, whatever his name is, Guy Parade. And, he's such a gnarly off-road rider.
Look at that dropping.
And Thorny.
Nobody's ever dropped that kind of thing.
Look at that
Thorny.
Shit.
Jason Thorne, I think.
Yeah, Thorn Dog.
Yeah.
Look at him right
there also.
Yeah. That's gnarly shit right there, man. Heavy.
Yeah. That was a good trip.
Yeah.
That would have been my second time rolling into that zone. I think I've been there 3 times total.
Yeah.
Well, Tex, sorry, Texan, do you got any you got any good stories or fond memories of traveling with us as the Crusty crew?
What you can talk about?
There's a bunch of them. I mean, there's so much.
Right.
I mean, from the time I met you, the time I met you guys in the backcountry of Mammoth, and y'all were still doing the snowboard thing. That was pretty ironic, just to bump into you out in the middle of nowhere, sort of deal. And then got to ride meet Dana, or I might already.
That was Spot X.
That was in the backcountry of Mammoth.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite. That was a badass jump, that big ass road jump we did on the snowboards.
Oh yeah, I sent you guys some good pictures of that road jump and the crash.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was in Canada, but I know what you're talking about now, where I did the backflip to to front toe hang up
in the snow. That first time we did a session in Mammoth together.
Yeah.
That was the first time we ever really rode hard together. I think besides crossing paths at a contest or something like that.
Yeah, and then Damien was building the quarter pipe that I got to ride with him, and I'd never met him before, so that was a big deal to meet Damien.
Zabo there too?
Zabo was there. And Jeff Fulton was with me also.
Fulton,
and
that's right.
Seth was there. We threw him off the cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
And he was trying to snowboard. He had just barely get to the kicker and then just get catapulted and ragdoll down the hill. And I go, that dude, gnarly. He don't care. And I remember Dana or John saying, well, wait till you see this guy on a dirt bike. And then that's when Crusty 1 came out shortly after that, remember?
Yeah, that was it.
And you do the flying fishes. You unstrap your bindings and just pin it at the lip and send it full.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to Bub? Did we lose Bub?
He'll be back.
He had to check on his air pressure in his go-kart.
Oh yeah, it's another one. What about the skits? Remember the what movie was that Bubba skit in, Tex?
It's number 6. Number 6.
Part 6.
Yeah.
And we were
we'll wait for Bubba to come back in. But what I was going to suggest is if our IT guys can play some things of Tex going down some extreme mountains, because Tex is known for, what was the first one that was in Alaska and you won the extreme
King of the Hammer
hill? I don't know what it was called.
No, King of the Hill. That was King of the Hill with
no, Tex will tell you.
No, all knows. The first one was called the First World Extreme Snowboard Championships.
Yeah, and in Alaska, right?
In Alaska. So there's 2 of them, and then it went to King of the Hill. I won the first one, and Goodwill won the second one.
That's right. And then it was like Farmer or somebody behind that. And,
Which was the one where helicopter?
What's that?
Remember the helicopter crash, Tex? What was that, number 3 or number 2?
That was my first one, heli that crashed that I got out of. And right before you got in, my dad just got out, and then you got in and went and crashed the heli.
The one that I crashed in?
Yeah, it was the same one. We used it earlier that year, too, before the Baker Open. There was snow in Alaska. So we flew to Alaska and met the Liskas, and then I had to meet him at Liska's house and drive the fuel truck out to the pass, and then the helicopter came and picked up Liska, and he went to McDonald's in the heli and flew through the drive-thru and grabbed us some breakfast, and then we went and rode that heli till we ran out of gas.
Yeah,
that's the same one that Dana crashed in?
Exactly, yeah.
I think that was the problem, because, we flew out of the bar with that guy, out of the parking lot. Yeah.
Well, you fly out of the bar, and then you fly back to the bar.
Yeah, well, I told him to stunt fly that thing, so he's stunt flying it. But yeah.
Y'all were filming 00 Zabo, yeah?
Yeah.
00 Zabo number 2, and I gave Dana the rifle that I bought down the road, and we didn't have blanks, so Dana, make it look good. We don't have Zabo here with us, so just come flying over the ridge and fly at me. And of course, I heard the bullets go right whizzing by my ear. Dana thought, the gun jammed, and then I heard one go right past me, and then he landed. He's like, oh, why don't we maybe get one more shot? And I'm like, all right. And I was loading film, I think, D, and that's when I heard pink, and the blade stopped, and you guys landed right on top of me. The blade flew over me, the whole thing.
Dang.
The front windshield.
You didn't get the shot either.
Well, I was loading film. You didn't wait.
I didn't wait. I was in the air, dog.
Yeah.
He didn't get 3-2-1 either.
Hey, so you got a little bit of your snowboard footage playing.
Yeah.
Here's some good footage of
There's Texan.
here's Tex.
Yeah, buddy.
Day. Look at his. Yeah. Here you go.
There we go.
That looks like Tom Burt right there.
Yeah, it is
That
Tom.
That's
Tom. I know
Tom.
that style. That's a Tom Burt.
Yeah,
Right.
and then Rocket's with us too. So the three of us are just annihilating Le Gras, France. This is a Texan here coming up off the little Cliffy.
Oh, here you go. Here's the Tex.
Little fluffer. How's my little sluffer wave?
Yeah. And I watched this footage. Tom Burt's like, yeah, it's a good thing Tex, cleared it out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for all
I
you
lifted a couple of rocks. So see this shot right here, dude? Well, that one on the open face, I was following Tom a little bit, and I just detoured off the main trail for just a second to slash a wave. I flew over the wave into a crevasse and stuck on the other wall and barely got out, kind of.
Oh, really? Yeah.
When you're on a glacier, you can leave Tom Burt you should just stay with him. That's what I learned.
That's all I ever did.
Well, you know what sucks, what sucks, Tex, is Tom Burt used to be Damien and I's teammates, and he couldn't jump. He'd just do all this shit. So every time Damien and I asked for advice from Tom Burt, he would just shovel down and he'd be like, "Oh, it's anybody's game," and he'd just like take off. He never would tell us.
And look what you guys are doing right here.
Yeah, we saw that from a restaurant up in Le Gras from a few miles away through the binoculars. I go, let's go do that.
Nobody does that kind of stuff. Here goes Tex. Here you go.
Yeah, they leave a rope in that notch so you can climb through.
Is that like a first descent right there? That's pretty gnarly.
No. Those Europeans do it all the time. That's why they leave the climbing rope there. Right there.
Yeah.
Right there. That's where the climbing rope is. And the camera stops. So Tom Day beating on the camera, and last second it starts right here when I drop in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the camera almost locked up, and we almost missed the shot right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Tom Burt.
Tom Burt that's Tom Burt trying to follow me.
With the old Barnays. I remember the white Barnays.
There's my boy Rocket. That guy took me in when I first started snowboarding and showed me the rope.
We used to go out to Telluride with Rocket.
Yeah.
All right.
That's his real name. His grandfather named him that when he came out because his head was so pointed. Should name that kid Rocket. That's his real name. And
he lived up to it, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Is that you right there?
Yeah. I think.
How cool is that?
Powder riding.
There's nobody tracking anything up in front of you.
We had our own helicopter.
We're gonna be stuck watching this shit all day. So.
Well, that's our kind of introduction to Mr. Tex Devenport.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of go over, the stories of Tex. I think we'll have a couple of episodes that we can do, with Tex on snowboard adventures because, boy, we had a lot, and that's where we met Tex, and Dana already explained that. And we became friends, and then he came over and hung out with us in Crusty Demons. Let's cross over into Crusty Demons.
Break it down, Tex.
Crusty Demons. So yeah, the movie came out, and then what got me back on the bike is I believe Fox came to the Hatchet and asked them if they would do the new Terra Firma, which would be part 4. And I don't know how many years it was between 3 and 4, but a bunch. So I got to run backup camera, and then this, that, and the other. Somehow we met a dude that gave us motorhomes. So I was sponsored by a motorhome company, and I knew the ropes in Canada, so you guys swooped me up. Is what I think what happened.
Oh, the cam loops.
Yeah, the cam loops, huh?
Go heli moto with what's the guy's name? Guy Perret.
Gay Parade.
Yeah. And Ian Pavluck and Brian Downing.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool trip.
Man, I was filming on them with you guys in Western Canada, and Vancouver was it Kamloops and all those places up there.
Yeah, we went up there when we took those helicopters and had the net and stuff like that. We went up to like Indian land. Nobody had ever done a motorcycle coming down that. Never thought of that.
No.
Yeah.
Those were first descents.
Yeah.
And I'll bet nobody's ever been back.
No. Hey, we're talking probably.
Hey, bud. Me and Seth bought cowboy boots and Wranglers and those fucking ropes. We tried to do the rope shit, you know what I mean? Because remember that Texan? There was some like
cowboy hats too.
In Kamloops?
We went to the Canadian rodeo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Canadian
country music fest.
Yeah, it was a music festival. So we got all like, I still got my Wranglers. I gotta wear them now because everybody wears skinny jeans. I'm like, I'll wear and I got the boots too. My chick put the boots on and fuck, I had her naked in about a minute. Like, holy
you guys should show some of that footage I sent you for Kamloops and those cliff drops and those first ascents.
No. Hey, to everybody out there, we're a little amateur on our little, I guess you'd call this Volta Chaos show.
Yeah. Your tech guys seem like they're on it pretty good.
Yeah, but we're not going to call it a podcast or a show because we're just going to do it however the fuck we want. We're still getting it done. So, as our first guest,
what's that?
I said, as our first guest, Texan, what do you think?
I think it's going pretty good.
Well,
that's a good answer.
Besides being a little bit late and being a little slow on my technology with the phone, but I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, well,
so Tex,
always going to be.
Hey, Tex, I wanted to ask you something, and Bub's going to chime in on this.
What's that, buddy?
We went on a pretty cool thing that we had a competition on television, and it was called the Bluetooth Tour. And we went through like Dumont Dunes. We went through all the way up through, I think, like Utah. Ended up in Colorado.
Yeah, we went to Glamis. We went to Akatia.
It was a big group of motorhomes, all the best riders.
That saved my life in Grand Junction, Colorado.
And Colorado, we got there and it started snowing in Grand Junction. We were going to go ride the hills in Grand Junction, right?
Yeah.
And we ended up, since we couldn't ride, we had the motorhomes parked in the parking lot, and Bubba kind of got a little loose, ended up going on a little side track.
Yeah, we went to the bar, man. We went to the bar like we
You went to the bar, a little wild turkey involved. And but then you did a good deed, and you actually went. There was a father and a daughter.
We're losing you, Johnny.
That one too. Okay. Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah,
no.
I can hear you.
We can hear you. Hurry it up, though. We can't see you.
Okay, I'm gonna let Bub take this one because he went and tried to make somebody happy that was injured in a hospital, and went with Dad and his
That's
daughter.
Right. The round boy got lucky.
Come on, story time.
We went to visit someone in the hospital, and her father was driving, and she was in the back with me, and I got molested by a chick. She was kind of a big girl, but that don't matter. I was 2 feet away from her father, and she was being all. Oh man, that was the first night of that.
We'll just call it that you made out with her. How about that?
What do you mean? What I call it? I don't know.
And then you came back to the crew, and we're all waiting for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was all drunk. I was drunk.
That's where Tex comes in on this
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
All right, then.
I got to fight with someone or something stupid, and I took a swing at the bartender or something, but he was
you knocked the guy off the stool next to him.
Oh, okay. See,
yeah,
I was drunk.
Whatever beef you had there, you ran a sweep.
All right, you guys are going down a rabbit hole.
No, we're not. We're getting into the fun part right now, right, Tex?
Well, we can't fucking see you. Your whole deal's off, and
well, I'm gonna let Tex take it from there.
All right, here I go. So I just remember John saying, "Tex, you see that look in Bubba's eyes?" I go, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He goes, "We got to get him out of here as quick as can." And then about then, Bubba just rushes the hugest, biggest cowboy in the bar and basically tackles him off his bar stool. And they hit the ground, and somehow me and Bubba ran out the door and went left. And then John, as I found out later, said they went this way because the cops were there. And then you guys ran out to the right. So
That's
I was Bubba in the motorhome while he was still walking.
You had to basically put your hand over his mouth and strangle him and get him out.
He did.
Said, go there.
He had his leg on my head in the motorhome.
And the bartender had our back and the whole thing. And I told the cops, I swear this guy had a red Honda. And I took all the cops out to the right. And they thought we're out for a red Honda. They were calling it on the radio, the whole thing. Yeah, but
I was in the motorhome with Texas on my head, telling me to shut up, or we're going to get arrested.
Right. And now it's about the time the cops were walking right past the motorhome, and I had Bubba like by the neck and my hand around his mouth. And telling him how important it is that we don't get arrested tonight.
Exactly. We needed to ride the next day.
Yeah.
Sounds like a big ass drunk story time, so I'm gonna take a bong rip and sign out. You guys are fucking going in a circle.
Well, that's just one of the good times we had.
That is a funny story, that one.
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of stuff from the Tex games as well when we went out filming with him. I've been to 3 Tex games. So
why don't you bring that up, Bub? Since I'm not on screen.
Well, okay, we did the first one in Mount Baker, and then was the next one in Omak?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I went with a couple of the kids. I brought out a big motorhome. We went out to Texas, where you had the next one, and I filmed that one. So it was a whole weekend of festivities, of punk rock bands, drinking, crazy stuff. The best stuff we had with the girls boxing.
Yeah.
And,
for our IT guys, do we have the Tex games?
Our Tex game segment.
Yeah,
here we go. Here we go. This is what I'm trying to say.
This is the first edit, the first time anything was ever published from the Tex games was right here. I mean, before any magazine articles or anything.
Where's your property right there, Tex?
It's on the Mount Baker Highway on the Canadian border, about 40 minutes from the coast of Washington State.
Look what you got going there.
Yeah.
You got girls going nuts. Is that you dragging dirt bikes? And you got limos.
Yeah, that was your old dirt bike that you brought for the Ghost Ride contest. And
That's right.
It's just rid of all the broken trucks and bikes running all over the yard. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, that was good times, man.
I think we had like 20 bands there,
Yeah. It was a party, man.
Barbecue in the front and boxing in the back.
You almost hit Beanie.
Yeah, right Beans just almost got landed on. Beans
There's Brian Downey. There's Puddle Boy.
Yeah, that's Puddle Boy.
Yeah.
There's your Ghost Ride bike.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys said you weren't coming unless I had a ghost ride contest, so I had to have a ghost ride contest.
Right?
Explain, Tex, what is a ghost ride contest?
It's like where you get a beat up bike and take all the compression out and just have full rebound, and you get a rider that's all padded up, and then you put duct tape underneath your throttle so it'll stick, and you get your bike going as fast as you can and jump off last second, and whoever sends the bike the furthest was the winner. Won a
Furthest
brand
and
new.
probably the best style, I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we could throw in some style points too.
Yeah.
Like Tim from Two Stroke Therapy, he had the paddle tire, a sissy bar,
This is truck.
twice, and a bunch of spark
There's one.
plugs and stuff going off.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good weekend, man.
Yeah.
There's
Hey,
Ted.
Jetson, you still got that big lump in your fucking that landing in your driveway. You keep breaking your truck trying to jump that with your fucking truck, don't you?
I never broke a truck in my backyard yet.
Well, you did jump that thing with your truck, though, right?
I've jumped it with trucks and cars and bikes and snowboards. And it has a good tranny. There's good trannies everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, well, we're getting pretty long in this thing, so
Yeah, that's a good one. It's good to have Tex Davenport as our first guest, but he's family, he's brotherhood, and just seeing you brings up so many. We got so many more stories from those
Yeah.
3 Tex games,
Of course.
and then Vancouver. All kinds of things we did, and then you guys got your snowboarding side of stuff, man. We got a lot of stories, Tex.
Well,
Well,
we're glad to have Tex on as one of our special guests right now, and we're going to have Tex on for many more to
Yep.
come.
Well,
There's so many other things to talk about, but I think maybe we'll wrap it. What do you think?
Yep,
Guys?
sounds good to me, guys.
yeah, let's call this one a wrap. Welcome to 2023, right?
Yeah, welcome to 2023.
Bringing in the new year, brother.
So
yeah. Hey, I just want to tell you guys, deeply touched when John called and we got to do story time again, and then got asked to be on the podcast, and it meant a lot to me. So thanks for thinking about me, and we'll remember more things that we forgot here on the next one or whatever.
That's my
Hey, look
line.
at D. Look
That's
at
my
love
line.
and respect, Tex.
You
Love
didn't
and
even have the
respect.
twice pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the fuel injection brake lines too, and the dual dipsticks, and calibrate.
We got to that one
The
yet.
thermal muscle bearings. You remember John was like, no, Dana or John Williams was, here, say this and say that. I go, I got this. Let's just roll. And we got it in one take.
Boom.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I think when we go back, we'll go into your character because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it just improvisation off of each other, and that was it. But that's what we did them
Well,
anyway.
And then also, here's another good point about that is we were there with MX Warriors filming on Link Hogel's deal, and then you guys were trying to get Bubba's skit done because it had to be at the editing booth like that evening or the next morning, and we walked over to help, and John's like, well, we got a bunch of kids in the school bus and a dune buggy, and we're just not quite sure what we're going to do. And then that's what happened. As the sun's going down, and we finished that shot because the dune buggy wouldn't drive because the remote, something was broken on the steering, and we almost lost the ship like 2 or 3 shots, and then we decided to dig so that it would stay in, and then when that dune buggy left the ground and went in the air so big, there was just like the hugest moment of silence. It was pretty epic. And then you had to finish the skit with the lights because we had run out of light.
Dude,
you boys better get home. Your mom's worried.
My remote control life-size Bubba car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that didn't work. Just like the first one, the Honda Odyssey didn't work either. D. That was the
Well, I
first
guess
one.
we can't tell anybody it really wasn't you in there, huh, Bob? All right, so, hey, I'm going to sign out. We're going a
It's
little
the
long.
magic of movies, D.
I know. Let's peace out till next week.
Well, really cool to have you, Tex. Let's
Yep.
do it again. You can be reoccurring as many times as you want, because, man, story time goes on forever with us and Tex Devenport.
You.
All right, Tex, thanks for having us. And I'm tapping out. So.
All right, love you guys. All right,
Later,
see ya.
B.
Signing off, guys. See ya.
Adios. Thanks, man.